The main problem of businesses, entrepreneurs, and experts on social media is what? The absence of sales. You're making a lot of content, you're investing a lot of money on social media. Perhaps you have an SMM manager or you're looking to find one, but there's one problem. A lot of content, zero sales. How is it possible? So each piece of content must sell on your social media, but actually, how do you achieve that? How do you make sure that every single word that you put in your content is the exact right word? A lot of experts tell you that you should post both expert and personal content, but in my opinion, the division is just abstract. There's no way that you can post either of the content and make absolutely perfect sales if you don't know the technology behind the sales, if you don't know how to actually reach your target audience. When we talk about personal content, yes, of course, let's say there is a fitness course expert and she puts stories, Instagram stories out there that she went on a date the other night. If she just puts that story, oh hey, I went on a date, it's not going to contribute to sales whatsoever. But if she does make a link on how dating life improves when you're more fit or something like that, then this is also a part of the expert content. So it's very abstract. There's no way that you can draw a line between them and say, okay, this is expert and this is personal. If you communicate your personal values through your content, this also can be considered expert content. For example, on my personal Instagram, I always talk about strategy and I always show how I approach things in my life from the strategic perspective. For example, I had to do the B1 Dutch language exams, and instead of simply going in, doing the exam, I focused on what exactly is needed for me to pass it. So every single exam would be the logical link to another exam. For example, when I was preparing for the writing part, in that way I was also training grammar for the speaking part. So coming back to the question, how to actually make sure that each piece of content falls logically and actually sells for you. The problem is very easily solved by a marketing strategy, or more like an understanding about how to build a strategy. And even more importantly, how to use the strategy, how to use the analysis from the strategy. That understanding on how to build marketing strategy will actually lead towards you not only succeeding in reaching your audience, but also raising your prices, not being afraid to tell your clients how much you're worth, and have a chain of clients who are waiting to work with you. Me and my team recorded a podcast on how to build a winning marketing strategy and how we do it as a team together for the clients. Take a look there and make sure that you follow all the steps. But today I want to focus more specifically on the part of how to understand your audience and how to sell them what they actually want. Nobody's ever going to buy what they don't want or what they don't need. Look everywhere around you. Billboards, websites, landing pages, ads, content, offers. Everything is based on target audience analysis only. Think about an example when you clicked on the targeted ads that was on your Instagram, and then for the next week you had only ads related to the thing that you actually clicked on. But then there are also ads that you skip immediately. They just don't draw your attention. How is it possible? The answer is simple. There was no target audience analysis. With the target audience analysis, you can actually use the data in the correct way to not just reach your audience, but to put ads on any platform and know 100% that it will work. And of course, this would help you to communicate better with your clients in real life. Because you know what you're selling, you know how to reach out to them so that they would buy. You don't even need to do any influence there. Why am I talking so much about target audience analysis and marketing here? Let's get acquainted if you still don't know me. I'm Angelina, an expert on building marketing strategies and creative design on social media. What actually makes me different from other experts that's on the side to practice, obviously, I have a solid education. I have both bachelor and master's degree, and my master's degree is from one of the best business schools in Europe and in the world, specialized in the field of HR and sales, and also wrote a thesis about it. Overall in marketing, I have over 6 years of practice now, and thus worked with global brands such as Erasmus University Rotterdam, Henkel, or Erasmus MC. Also, if you want to know more about marketing strategy and how exactly to do that, welcome to join the account of Quasar, where me and the team focus specifically on building the strategies for you that work and bring you sales and clients. So the goal of today's lesson for me is to show you and practice how target audience analysis influences the way of your thinking and how your content transforms into the content that sells, and every single piece is connected to another. So let's take a look at this example. You see 3 people. This is just a picture I took from Pinterest. I Googled target audience analysis and this is what I see. A lot of mistakes, very wrong information. Which conclusions can you actually draw from the analysis? If I would look at this, I would think that there are 3 segments of the target audience, basically. So the first segment is that people who are 30-ish, they live in New York, IT specialists, want to grow family, need help with housekeeping, grocery buying. The second one is about 40 years old, also somewhere in Manhattan, CEO of IT startup. So they're already IT. Why are they different segments? I don't understand. How does it help you to actually sell to that person? And again, the third one, if we take a look at it, 24 years old, lives in New Jersey, internet, Microsoft, doesn't help me anyhow. If I were to launch an ad, and if I understand this correctly, this is target audience analysis for some kind of banking/money platform that they could use. If I were to look at these 3 persona segments, then there's no way that I would launch a good ad that would actually work. The only good conclusion that I can draw from this analysis is that they're all based in New York and that I should set up my ads location to New York. There are 4 typical mistakes that people make when actually analyzing their target audience, and that comes to a lot of business owners, because I have worked with many businesses. First of all, to think it's only about gender and age. Even if I would see an ad that would say, are you 18/20? I would say, yeah, I am. And then want to use the medical device? Maybe I don't need it. Who knows? Maybe I do, but they don't tell me why. The second mistake is imagining yourself as a client. You're not a client. You don't know the fears, the pains, anything that motivates you to buy. So the only thing you know is that, oh yeah, I have a great product, and then probably what I think about the product is also what other people think about the product, but it doesn't work like that. Another question that I see a lot of marketing experts and SMM managers do is only working with the information that the client is providing. So basically you, the business owners, if somebody's asking you, okay, so what's your target audience? And they use only that information, there is no way that you will ever succeed in your ads. It's like, imagine you're working in the police and then somebody comes and says, hey, my bag was stolen. And you ask, how did the person look like who stole your bag? And then you say, I don't know, just a person, I don't know. Black eyebrows, black hair. There are tons of people with black eyebrows and black hair. How in the way they're gonna identify who stole your bag? There's no way if you don't remember any other features, or you don't know the name, or you're not acquainted with them. So the same works here. You don't know your people, you're not selling. So I always think about it as dating theory, I call it. So would you get married after the first date? Probably not. And what about after a few months of dating? Some people do, so the chance increases. What about a year of dating? It increases more. To build relationship, the dates are necessary. The same goes for attracting clients. Your clients also need to go on dates with you, but not, of course, the right kind of relationship dates I'm talking about, but expert and professional dates. They need to know about you. They need to know about your product. They need to know specifically why do they need this product. All of this comes after the target audience analysis. So doing the right target audience analysis is like proposing to someone whom you know they also want to be with you. It's not going to be a no response. The same way it's not going to be a no response from your target audience. If you know exactly where to hit, which pains, which gains to hit, you're in the game. So right now, let's take a look at 2 examples of selling a product versus selling a service, also in 2 different niches. So the first niche is a nutritionist specialist who's selling a recipe book. I'm gonna guide you through the table and you will understand what I mean about the segmentation of the audience, what I mean about how to work with that audience, and where do I exactly get that information from. First of all, we're selling one product to everybody, but would you sell the same recipe book to a mother who just gave birth in the same way as to a teenager who's just trying to lose weight? You will not. So the first segment, I would say, mothers who just gave birth. They have some difficulties losing weight, and at the same time, they're very busy caring for the baby. They do not understand exactly how in that time to find enough time for themselves, to find time to do sports, and they want to find a very simple way on how to reduce their weight by simply eating well. They will not buy your recipe book before they give birth. They're gonna search for solutions afterwards. If, for example, their weight is not going down very easily, because if it is, they don't need your recipe book. The second audience could be, for example, People aged 20 to 45 years old who've tried so many different diets and they just cannot find the right solution that works for them. They tried fasting, they tried not eating at all, and nothing works. Their weight is stable. But they are still searching for a solution that will work for them. They will not buy after they give birth. It's a completely different thing. They would buy after they're already disappointed in some other diets and they want to know what works for them. The third segment could be, for example, sports people who just take care of themselves, who eat really well, but they cannot find time to think about a nice kind of recipe for every single day so that their meals are diverse. They are buying to save their time. They're buying when everything goes very well in their life, sports is going great, life is going great, they're not giving birth, they're not disappointed in other diets. They just want a simple solution to the simple problem that they're having. Let's take a look at how are we selling services. The example of private health clinic. First segment could be men or women when they already developed a problem with health. Let's say my gut hurts. So I understand there's something wrong with me. I've tried to take a pill, but it doesn't go away. Probably then I need to go and see the doctor. But I don't do it before my gut starts to hurt. I do it only after the problem emerges. They will not even care to take a look at your advertisement if they don't have problem yet. However, there is a second segment, for example, families. And those families, they go for a regular checkup. They want to know that everything is fine with their kid and also with themselves. For them, it's important to save the state of their health. And you need to make a point in your advertisement that you help them do that regularly. However, there's also, for example, a third segment, women who just want to look young, they want to maintain the youthful looks. What we care about is that this clinic, for example, has some specialists that work on the face level, who do lasers or Botox. And then we need to target that population, that segmentation of the audience, completely in a different way. But we also need to understand that they go, sometimes not regularly, they go, for example, before an important event, before the vacation, and maybe you don't really understand how to connect it yet. But let's take a look further. You need to connect each segment on its position in the awareness letter. We're not going to dive into the awareness letter because this is a very highly marketing basis terminology that you don't really need to know right now. But I'm going to walk you through the main steps of the letter. So basically what it means is that every single segment could be at a different position. First position is indifference. So it means that people don't see the needs and they're not interested in your product. The second step is awareness. When you have the need and you're searching for options. So let's say you need a dress. You have various options. You can obviously order a dress, you can make the dress yourself, you can hire someone to make the dress. And then the third one is comparison. When you're comparing various options and testing which one is the right fit for you. There comes the stage of choice, choosing between the products. It could be a nutrition specialist with a cooking recipe book or a private consultation. What do you choose? And the last stage is obviously purchase. And now comes a very important point. If you are posting a lot of content with your reviews, with closing objections, with, okay, this is why you need to buy my product, and if you're worried that you don't have enough time, I don't know, to do this course that I'm selling, this is for you, that's not gonna work. And you know why it's not gonna work? Because if you're showing reviews and closing objections to the audience who did not develop, looking back at the previous slide, who is at the indifference stage, right? Who did not develop the needs and they don't feel the need for your products, they're not even interested, that's not gonna work. It's like literally talking to a person who doesn't listen. You say, hello? And they say, blah, blah. That can go forever. That's why it's very important to understand if your audience has already developed the need or not, and that you look at the target audience analysis again. After listening to me, after maybe even re-listening to the lesson, you would understand that audience is much deeper than age, name, occupation, or something else. This is one of the typical mistakes that we also discussed. Unfortunately, it's not enough at the current age to just do your social media, post one story a week and be like, yay, who wants to go to my service or who wants to buy my product? And then people are like, me. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. In the current times, you really need to kind of grab the attention of the people. But for that, instead of blindly going in and grabbing everybody's attention, you need to focus on specific segments. If you launched ads before and something did not work and you think, oh, maybe the visuals were bad or whatever else, I'm gonna tell you right away, the visuals almost don't mean a thing. It means a lot to whom are you reaching out? Do you have the exact words that your target audience uses there? And if you use them correctly, if you want to explore your target audience and marketing strategy further and understand what is not working in your business or what could work better so that your sales could go up, you could sign up to my free call by DMing me on Instagram. I hope this lesson opened up a world of marketing magic for you and you understood exactly what it means to be strategic, analytical, and think together with your target audience. I wish you all the best in your business, and comment below if you have questions about your social media. I'll gladly take a look and audit your profile and send you directions about it. See you in the next videos or talk to you in real life or Zoom.